We've been on this story since the beginning of the day, since the plane went down shortly after takeoff this morning, taking the life of an East Haven man. Another man is in critical condition. Good evening, I'm Ann Nyberg.
I'm Darren Kramer. We've had your back with this all day long. Here's the very latest we've learned since 6 tonight. Police are guarding that crash scene right now, staying there so nothing happens to the wreckage overnight. NTSB investigators are heading up this investigation. They'll be back on the scene, removing the wreckage around noon tomorrow. And we have been in touch with the victim's family tonight, grieving over their sudden loss.
We're learning more about 31-year-old Pablo Campos, a flight school student and Navy veteran from East Haven, who was killed in that crash.
We have team coverage tonight, all angles of this story. Renee Schmiel live at Yale New Haven Hospital, where the survivor is still in critical condition tonight. But let's get right to News 8's Bob Wilson, live at the crash scene in East Haven with the latest on this investigation. Bob.
Yeah, Darren, the airport is open. NTSB is on the scene. They have been all afternoon, all evening. They say they're looking at everything from the weather conditions, radar. They're looking at the plane. Was there enough fuel? Simple things like that to complicate mechanical problems. They're also looking at the pilot. They say they're talking to witnesses, and so far they're in the preliminary stages, but there are some clues.
Preliminarily, they reported that they were doing some practice takeoffs and landings here in the local traffic pattern.
The National Transportation Safety Board on the scene looking over the wreckage of the single-engine aircraft. While it's still too early to determine a cause, they have been talking to witnesses who saw the plane go down.
And it ended up just flipping, going nosediving right into there's a big wetland back there. Got to be 500 acres of just wet land.
Investigators were also able to talk to the tower about the crash. The conversation between the pilot and the air traffic controller was recorded.
They were planning to come around for landing anyways. They reported a generic emergency, a mayday, but they weren't specific. And in trying to get back to the airport, the aircraft nosed down into a swamp area.
Then firefighters, police officers, rescue workers running into the brush and tall grass looking for the plane. It took 15 minutes to find. The instructor pilot clinging to life. The student died on contact.
Chief, just recommending manpower. Anything that's going to be able to get there is going to sink in the mud. Manpower and strength is all we need right now.
They had to carry each one of the victims or patients out. It had to be at least 1,500, 2,000 feet. You know, it's a long carry in those mucky conditions. It was difficult, but the guys did it.
Right now we're on the outer edge of the airport perimeter, and you can just see how tall this grass is. There's a lot of water, slushy ice in the area. And this stuff is what firefighters had to fight right here and contend with as they went out to try and find the plane. They say tomorrow, as they remove the plane, they're going to have to drag it through all of this brush to get it back to the hangar and look at it as the investigation continues.
They're going to recover the wreckage from the swamp, and then I'll follow it back to Delaware to do a further examination.
Now, they are hoping that that will take place around noon. They will start that. They're not sure how long it will take to get through. You heard 500 acres of swampland out there, really nasty stuff, some pretty tall grass. And they say once they can get that plane out, they can get a better look at it. And they will be consulting with the aircraft manufacturer, too, to see exactly if they can figure out what went wrong. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live, News 8.